Here we have a new 2023 Hyundai Elantra. This one comes in the N-Line trim level in Atlas white. And then we have black cloth and leatherette interior. The powertrain consists of a 1.6 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, putting out 201 horsepower, and then that's mated to a 7-speed dual clutch automatic transmission. And this is pretty much the baby end right here, but I'll tell you why I love it after a while. Coming around the front end here, we do get our LED daytime running lights, and then we have our halogen headlamps. But for the halogen headlamps, that should be an easy swap out if you want to get some aftermarket LED bulbs. Down here we have 18-inch alloy wheels. Love the look of that, especially how it goes with kind of the lower stance. And the side skirts, the spoiler, everything just looks super sporty. But we get passive keyless entry on the front two doors. Power mirror controls are here, pick a side and adjust with a dial. And then power door lock controls are here. One-touch automatic up and down on the driver's side, rear window lock here, and then the rest of the power windows are just normal. Bottle holder there. This is the lane departure system. We can toggle that on and off. Brightness for the gauge cluster. Traction control. Pop that hood for later. Love the pedals. And then we have a manual tilt telescope steering wheel. And then here's our driver's seat with two-way power lumbar support. I love the N-Line sport seats though. They look very, very nice. A huge shout out to Hyundai of Cool Springs for allowing me to review this car today. I'll leave a link below to it in the description. You all can pause anywhere you need to take a closer look at the window sticker options. But I mean, look at that fuel economy. 28 city, 36 highway, and less than 30 grand sticker price. That is pretty impressive. But I have that seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, 6'3", longer legs, so this is what the rear leg room looks like. And actually not terrible. I only have about ½ an inch to an inch of headroom, but still, for this to be a small car, especially a sport-oriented small car, not bad at all. I'm very intrigued that there are no seat back pockets here, but I wouldn't use them anyway. Then the center seat folds down. Cup holders there in the middle. And then grab handle here. We can hang one plastic hook, maybe two metal hooks on that small hanger hook there. But before we go to the back, let's go ahead and pop the gas cap. As well as the trunk. That gas cap's right there, and it should take regular, no problem. But let's check out this trunk space. And then pretty good storage in here. Might be hard to see with the glare, but we have the optional cargo net here, and then spare tire with wheel locks underneath. And then we're actually gonna pull this. This is how you fold down that rear seat, so we're gonna test that out. But love the styling of the back end, especially that diffuser down there. And that exhaust tip is very nice as well. And then if you want to pop the trunk from back here, there's the button for that. But I can't say enough about the styling of this N-Line. Like I said, for that less than $30,000 price point, it's pretty impressive. And it's actually usable. As you can see, we can fold this whole back seat down, and then pretty easy to just pull it back up and lock it back into place. And then our front passenger seat is manual. So manual seat back, seat bottom. And then I love that we still have the side pockets here, just enough space for a phone. And then glove compartment, owner's manual's in there. Like the trim. Let's go ahead and pop this hood. And again, there's a 201 horsepower, 1.6 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. But let's go ahead and make our way to the driver's seat. So I love this leatherette sport inspired steering wheel, excuse me. It's just very nice. It looks fantastic, feels great. And I love how they integrated the paddle shifters there. Again, this is the N-Line, not the actual N, so this is a bargain in my opinion, but I'll get to that later. Just in terms of how it drives. But home page is here, navigation system's here, and we can type in destinations, it'll autofill for us, or we can use voice recognition, whether it's an address, a store, whatever it is. Then we do get Apple CarPlay, Android Auto compatibility, and then we have AM, FM, XM radio right here, and we can go between the bands right there. And then Bluetooth audio, you have Sounds of Nature as well. And you can hit this climate button, and then it'll kind of show you what's going on with your system. But you have dual zone automatic climate controls, so we can sync, unsync at the touch of a button. We have 3 stages of auto, low, high, medium. And you can cut the auto off by adjusting the fan speed, and you can control fan direction right here. And then we have 3-stage heated seats, and those buttons are down here. But right in here, that pretty much shows you where everything is, what's going on, and then the temperatures, and then you can just adjust how the recirculation of the air is. Hazards are here. We do have a volume knob. We can click it to mute, and then we have shortcuts for the nav, map, radio, media, and then we can set up our favorites here as well. So it can show you HD radio data, phone projection, driver assistance settings just by the touch of that button, or whatever you want to set that up to, which I like. And then settings in here, if you go to the general settings, you can go through your system info, language can be adjusted here, date and time can be adjusted, and then your units can be adjusted as well if you want to set those from kilometers to miles, Fahrenheit to Celsius, whatever, you can do that. But down below here, we have a USB-A port, and that's for your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. We have a USB charge port as well, then a 12-volt there. Nice size wireless charging pad. And then I can pull up our camera there with just a touch of a button, or I can put it in reverse, and it'll show it with the guidelines, and those will follow you as you turn the steering wheel. Now for the shifter, pull the lever, reverse neutral drive, and you can come over here and manually shift from the shifter, or you can use the paddle shifters behind the steering wheel. And I love just how that's leather wrapped. That shifter looks so sporty and so nice. And there's our parking brake there. Cup holders are here. And then center console cubby space, decent size for a small car. Let's go ahead and open the sunshade, and then we'll pull that sunroof back. Nice touch to have on here. Hit it twice to get it all the way back, and then we can one touch close it, and then you can also tilt it as well. But there's a view of the back seat from up here. Can't talk today, excuse me. Now back to the steering wheel. The drive modes are actually over here, which is pretty neat. You can go through normal, sport, smart, and adjust all of those, and it'll tell you what mode you're in. In the gauge cluster, headlamp controls are here. That's low beams, and with the low beams on, you can toggle your high beams on and then turn them off that way and flash when they're not on. Then corners, auto, and then you have your high beam assist. So when you're in auto mode, you can toggle the auto high beams on and off, and then off there. And then to the right side of the steering wheel, we have our windshield wiper controls, one time, and then that's off, intermittent, low, high, and then we can adjust our intermittent wipers here, and then pull up for the front wiper fluid. And then to the steering wheel, we have voice recognition here. Hit this mode button to go through your audio sources, and you can set that up as well, whether you want to just go through FM and Bluetooth, or if you want to go through USB, CarPlay, Android Auto, all of that, you can set that up. And then you can go through your radio station presets or track lists using this button, volume here, and then you can click that to mute, and then you have Bluetooth controls here. Right side, toggle your cruise control, and then you can go through your sub menus here. And when it's available, you can scroll through your sub menus using this arrow and this OK button right in here. So there are your tire pressure sensors, if you ever need those or want to see those. And then you can actually select contents and you can decide what you want up. So if you want everything up, just make sure all of the boxes are checked. Or let's say you want to get rid of the attention level. So I like that capability there. And then you can use this for your cruise control. And then you have your lane centering, and then you can pause and resume the cruise there. So there's our push button start. Finally, here's our key fob with remote start. And now to the fun part. Let's go ahead and take this Elantra N-Line out on the road for a quick test drive. So starting the test drive out in this Elantra N-Line, I drove this a few miles around before I actually did the test drive in here, just because I was curious. And this is one of the most fun vehicles I've been behind the wheel of in terms of an economy sports car. So I mean, cars that are like your Civic SIs, or taking it back a little bit, the Cobalt SSs, cars that were just meant to get you good fuel economies and commute, and then they make kind of sport tuned versions of them. Especially with the turbocharged 4-cylinder. It's crazy it's a 1.6 liter, but then having the 7-speed dual clutch, this is just, it's so much fun to drive. And when I think about this car being 30 grand, it's a budget vehicle for enthusiasts, in my opinion. And that's just stock. You don't have to put on your own turbo or do this, that, and the other. It's fun to drive. It sounds good. All that, just fresh out the gate. And of course, you can tune it any way you want to, but if you don't want to tune it and keep it stock and keep your warranty and all that, this is still a fun car to drive, again, without doing anything to it. And the dual clutch is just so much fun to drive in manual mode, especially with these paddle shifters. It just feels right. And I mean, if I were to have one of these vehicles, I would keep it in sport mode pretty much 99% of the time, because it's just so much fun. It's just so agile, so quick on its feet. We have nobody behind us, so we're gonna give ourselves a little bit of space here. And we're gonna give it a pull. All right, here we go. It's just so fast. And again, it's a 1.6 liter 4-cylinder. It's just crazy. So we're gonna put it into, tell you what, we're gonna give it a pull real quick. And then you have your lane centering there. And then cruise is enabled. So it's nice to just have this for longer road trips. Of course, it's a system you want to keep your eye on, but it does a pretty good job on the interstate, 2-lane highways. Just always be ready to take control when you need to. But all in all, the ride quality itself, of course, it's a sport tuned suspension, so it's stiff, but not necessarily uncomfortable, and it definitely helps having this driver's seat with the 2-way power lumbar support, so you can get exactly where you want to be. So again, when I think about competitors for this car, I think about the Civic SI in in terms of what's out now, probably BMW 2 Series, something like that. And then Toyota has the Corolla. It wouldn't necessarily be that GR, but a step below that, just in terms of a quick car that isn't necessarily a top of the line quick car, if that makes sense. But I mean, the Asian market pretty much has that on lockdown. Just South Korea, Japan. It's just hard to find a good competitor that's in this market that's inexpensive, yet still fun to drive, still fast, and still gets incredible fuel economy. And this pretty much checks all of those and then some. I will say I'm looking forward to Nissan bringing back the Sentra Spec V. That would be a good competitor for this. But I mean, for a car under 30 grand, it's fun to drive, it's quick, it's practical for commuters. It's an awesome car, that's all I can say. But this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2023 Hyundai Elantra N-Line.